1928.
Down the back of the building?
That's good.
We need you to sit down if you expect us to hear you.
Oh, you fine. I'm happy to sit down. I have a few notes that I will refer to. Can I move the mics?
Well, not if you want us to hear you. You can just move it back a little bit. Put your notes in front of you. Yeah.
Move to channel 8.
Yeah.
There we go. That one's
Exactly, that's the one, you can tip that one over. That's not really nice.
You got enough space?
I've got enough space. You bet.
Do you want to go like that?
Good afternoon, and thanks to each and every one of you for being here as we today begin to make a determination as to what kind of campaign the voters in the 5th Congressional District should expect and should demand from the candidates running for this office. The strategy of Elizabeth Esty in this campaign is to portray me as someone I am not and to put words in my mouth that I have never said. Her campaign ads are dishonest, and her public comments about me have been dishonest. I have pledged to the people of the 5th District to run a campaign based on the issues. What we all deserve is the discussion of the real issues facing Connecticut and our nation, and real solutions to address them. When I have drawn a contrast between myself and my opponent, it has been based on her record, based on the actual votes she made in the legislature and public statements she has made. My first ad is a positive message of hope and a promise to work towards bipartisan solutions.
Partisan gridlock in Washington is threatening our future. That's why we need leaders like Andrew Roraback, a track record of bipartisanship and a record of independence and effectiveness. Roraback will protect and secure Medicare, create jobs, and improve our economy, lower energy prices. Andrew Roraback will solve problems, not just talk about them. That's the kind of change Washington desperately needs. Andrew Roraback for Congress.
I'm Andrew Roraback, and I approve this message.
This is what the Democratic Congressional Campaign Committee put out the day after I began running my ad.
Meet Washington's Tea Party Republicans, and Andrew Roraback, he'll fit right in. They've been pushing a plan the Wall Street Journal says would essentially end Medicare, and they need Andrew Roraback's help to finish the job. Under this plan, seniors here in Connecticut would pay $6,400 more every year, and millionaires everywhere would get tax breaks. That's their plan, and they need Andrew Roraback's vote. This November, how will you cast yours? The Democratic Congressional Campaign Committee is responsible for the content of this advertising.
This shameful ad piles one lie on top of another. I have publicly stated consistently throughout this campaign, and it's been widely reported in the press, that I would not have voted for the Paul Ryan budget. Because, and here are the articles to prove it, from the Meriden Record Journal, the Hartford Current, and other publications. Because of the outright lies contained in this ad, we have been asking all television stations in this state to take the ads down. Because voters in this district deserve an honest debate about our real position, not a dishonest debate constructed on fabrications which have no mooring in reality. Now I want to show you the ad that the Esty campaign began running yesterday, which continues her campaign's growing pattern of distorting my record.
I'm Elizabeth Esty, and I approve this message. Trying to balance our budget on the backs of the elderly is wrong, and I will not agree to that.
On the town council, Elizabeth Esty helped reduce property taxes for seniors. Now she's working to protect Social Security and Medicare. But Andrew Roraback puts your retirement at risk. He'd raise the Social Security retirement age and cut the Social Security benefits you've earned. Andrew Roraback's just not for you.
Elizabeth Esty is deliberately trying to scare seniors to fuel her personal political ambition. And that is simply the wrong thing to do. Let me say this up front so there is no confusion on the part of any voter in this district. My commitment, my unwavering commitment from which I will not deviate, is to make sure that the Social Security system remains in its present form forever for all individuals who are 50 years and older. The only change that I would recommend to the current system is that we look at increasing cost of living adjustments for low-income seniors. The reality is that cost of living adjustments for our low-income seniors have not kept pace with the realities of the bills they're paying. So that is Andrew Roraback's position on Social Security. I challenge you to ask Elizabeth Esty where she finds the basis to make the claims in those ads. Now, the ads source a public forum held in Simsbury in March, at which point I did say that in order to fix Social Security in the long run, and the math is simple, if nothing is done to Social Security, there will be no money in the system come 2037. Now, 2037 sounds like a long ways away, and it is. It's 25 years away. But if we do nothing, the system will be bankrupt in 25 years. And so what I said at that forum is that we have an obligation as elected officials to consider the recommendations that were contained in the Simpson-Bowles Commission report. For my statement that those proposed solutions should be considered to be construed into a representation that I would take away benefits from anyone is preposterous and indefensible, and it will not stand. Now, what I think the solution is to maintain the current system for individuals 50 and older, and then for elected members of Congress to check their partisan hats for a moment and go into a room and fashion a long-term solution. Now, I did hear my opponent on WNPR this morning, and she and I actually agree on one of the components for a fix, which is that we ought to look at raising the cap, the amount of wages that are subject to the payroll tax. That is certainly something we should look at as part of the solution. But that alone can't be the entire solution. For individuals under the age of 50, we have to look at all of the options, and we need to have a discussion that's not predicated on securing partisan advantage, but predicated on solving a problem for all of us. Now, this morning there was an editorial that ran in one of the newspapers that called on Elizabeth Esty to abandon her deceptive smears. She clearly didn't read the paper this morning before she went on WNPR, because in that interview, she said that I would change COLA increases. There is no basis in fact. I challenge you to ask her where she came up with the notion that I would ever even dream of doing that. Because the truth of the matter is, I think those increases, those COLA increases, should be increased for low-income seniors, not changed, and there's no basis in fact. So she is taking a page from a playbook that's being used around this country to use this issue to scare people needlessly and to secure partisan advantage. What this country needs is people from both sides of the aisle who want to solve the problem. But what Elizabeth Esty has demonstrated is that rather than coming together to solve problems, when there's disagreement, she believes that the answer is to send the people that she disagrees with out of town, thinking that the problem is best solved if they would move somewhere else.
Schools don't attend to or don't currently have kids in schools who object to the property valuations, I would say you're always welcome to move to one of our neighboring towns.
So when seniors are struggling with the rising